Morning. Oh, breakfast. I got rice and beans, hard-boiled egg, and wedges of orange. I took the liberty of adding some oat bran to the rice and beans. Oh, wow. Haven't had a bit of a bad tummy day. So I need to have gentle food that helps get things moving. Yeah. And the fewer details I have to explain, the better. Oh, wow. My doctor's right. Gotta lay off the deep fried foods. They're not good for me. And they're making me sick. Oh, wow. Anywho, Mr. Kent Hovind is once again lying shamelessly about everything. And he's really getting quite aggressive about it. He seems to have come to the conclusion that as long as he doesn't rob the American taxpayer, that he should be allowed to lie about just about anything he wants. And so he lies shamelessly about, well, everything. It's Mr. Kent Hovind. And unfortunately, he has a number of puppets. Among them, Mr. Matt Powell. I did have hope for that boy, but now I realize that he's got a vested interest. He's not just regurgitating mindlessly, but he's willfully reciting statements that he knows are false. When you get to that point, you're no longer an innocent victim. You're a guilty purveyor of young earth creationism. Yeah. So, let's establish something. First of all, the theory of evolution does not say anything about the formation of the universe or the origin of the universe, or the formation of the earth or the origin of the earth. Nor does it say anything about what happens to you after you die, nor does it teach you how to behave in polite company or impolite company. It does none of these things. The theory of evolution is simply the sum total of all the facts that we have about evolution, plus all the predictions that we can reasonably extrapolate from those facts. And with those facts, we were able to extrapolate where to find the fossil of Tiktaalik, one of the earliest transitional tetrapods. And Tiktaalik is famous. Where did we find it? We found it in the Canadian high Arctic. Why did we find it there? Because 350 million years ago, the high Arctic wasn't in the high Arctic. It was close to the equator. And the line that runs through the Great Lakes, through Hudson Bay, up to the north end of Baffin Island, that didn't used to run north-south. That used to run east-west. And it was damn close to being on the equator itself. And that's when Tiktaalik lived in the river deltas of what is now the Canadian high Arctic. And we figured this out using the theory of evolution. as a guide from which to go forward. This alone validates the theory of evolution. Also, the fact that new strains of viruses keep appearing, thus rendering many of our antivirals useless. New strains of bacteria keep emerging, which render our antibiotics useless. This is all evolution taking place. And I realize this cuts into the dream of a perfect world that existed in the past. The truth is, there was no perfect world in the past. The world of the past was pretty much the same as this world. Different problems, but still problems. Predators ate herbivores, and storms swept babies out to sea. Diseases ravaged populations. All these things happened. And whether or not there was a magical God watching over this is not important. What matters is that this is the way things have always been. The magical golden age in the past is a fairy tale. Well, go get your own breakfast there, Wasp. Anywho, Mr. Hovind still refuses to accept any challenge that I've made to sit down and talk about what evolution actually is and isn't. He'll never accept a challenge because, well, that would mean the risk of being exposed. And he is a fraudster. I sincerely doubt he even believes in a god. I think he just recognizes that young Earth creationism gives him a meal ticket. And he's not going to risk that meal ticket. Because unlike those of us who actually work for a living, Mr. Hovind, he doesn't want to work for a living. He wants to leech off the gullible followers that he has who believe that he's some sort of a religious leader and holy man. Somebody who has access to special knowledge. He doesn't have special knowledge. In fact, he doesn't have knowledge at all. He has anti-knowledge. The nonsense that he vomits up actually makes people more and more stupid. And that's the problem with young Earth creationism. It creates an artificial state of stupidity. Anywho, I'm going to go enjoy my day off. Gotta do some laundry. Take care.